Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Environmental Coffee House. And I am Sandy Shallis, and this is Scott Brown. Party, Scott! Into the world party! And I would like to just say hi to all of you in the chat. And listen, before we start, I'm having a little audio issue, and I would like to know that you are in the chat. If you are hearing anything like staticky, if you are, there's not a goddamn thing I can do about it tonight. I just want to know. And tonight, we are talking about AI. We're talking about, and I particularly want to mention a few things about AI slop. I had seen a video by some scientist guy that has a pretty big channel. He was talking about the AI slop and how they are stealing these people are making tons of channels, and they are taking these AI clone voices and cloning different kinds of physicists and scientists and just slapping out these videos. And it's terrible. And they're making like money because people watch them. So there's that. And there's your topic. You want to talk about what Bernie was talking about, maybe the sovereign fund. And we're going to talk about SpaceX and what they really want to do. So, welcome, Scott. And if everybody thinks it's okay, well, then I'm the only one that'll drive myself crazy. And if I keep my mouth shut, I don't hear the static.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey, and thank you, Kim, for moderating. And thanks, everybody, for coming. Okay, we have a good show. We have a good show. No bells and whistles. Much, not much. So what's
If
up,
my
Scott?
nothing. If just want to say first, if my power goes out, it's power flickers here sometimes. Georgia's got a pretty reliable grid apparently, but we've got all these new data centers, so we'll see.
Oh, God damn! Is there anything close to you that you can
It's not like super
hear?
close. There is like
No,
a, I definitely can't hear it, but I
and
don't
it's
think that it's kind of too dense here. I don't think they could get away with it in where I'm at, and I don't think that it would happen politically, but. There are some surprisingly nearby, and a lot, of course, being
no
built in Georgia
shit,
now. So,
and it's
the
changing.
power's flickering. I don't know if it happens because it's
Wow.
you know, well today's
Yeah,
got all this, and today's our first like humid 90s
yeah,
kind of day.
yeah. Holy crap. Well, we're fighting them here. We don't. Nobody wants them here. So I live in a rural area, and everybody wants to put their mitts on our beautiful farmland. And nope, that ain't gonna fucking happen. Nope, nope, nope. Sorry, but it isn't. So I want you to take us through. I had written the when I wrote. I'll just read really quickly what I wrote when people first heard about AI. The thoughts about AI being like the Jetsons or AI taking over. Well, it's not just so simple. The danger is not simply a rogue superintelligence like Hal in 2001: A Space Odyssey, like everybody thinks about. The danger is now giving the unprecedented power to existing political, economic, and social systems during a period of climate instability, ecological decline, institutional erosion. And so it doesn't feel like, a Hollywood movie with robots and all. Uprising, it's that has been cemented in our Swiss cheese brains. No, it's like a dark comedy, Scott. A dark comedy
For the
where the most
uh,
absurd outcomes keep winning via AI.
yeah, it's kind of like the Jetsons and Hal mixed with Idiocracy though, because
Yes.
literally I think this is kind of it. I mean, like you said, with all these AI research stuff, like Americans will eat that up. Just if you have a fake physicist telling them what they want to hear, something kind of new agey that they can post on Facebook and have feel a little like Americans will eat that up because we're just very uneducated. That's why this is so bad. Like our education system was bad enough, and then now we're being inundated with AI slop, and I
I
think it's
hate
like
it.
really having some effects, and yeah, I think that's one of the biggest problems that people just don't know how to interact with it. But it's
Yeah.
it's not too surprising. It really feels like this is kind of the end of the world kind of bubble stuff. Like, what else are you gonna do? So, one idea that I heard, maybe like probably like 10 years ago, was about how we're kind of running out of ideas, like new inventions. There are like fewer new inventions, and just we're kind of, as at this point we've had, so much technological advancement and so much, uh, so many people, and so many people had access to things. Back in the day, it was easy to invent something. I mean,
Oh, like the guys that invented my tushy.
yeah,
I mean,
like all
we're
kinds of
running out of ideas.
exactly, and so I mean, it kind of, and capitalism and the way we treat the planet is really kind of like a bubble. It's a real economic bubble, huge economic bubble. It's a big bubble, and the stock market's been a reflection of that, for since it's existed, and it's really just all about acceleration line going up forever, and so AI is kind of it seems natural that it's kind of like the end of the bubble, like almost like the end of progress in a way. I mean, I think that's a choice, though. I don't think it's fate, but look at us, like the choices we're gonna make are pretty obvious. So the thing about AI is it's kind of a tool. Like I don't, a lot of people are really emotional about it and like really really hate it, but I see it's a little bit useful in some ways, and totally want to ban it completely, like kind of luddite-ish about it. But how are you about it? Have you used AI? What do you think about it? What do you
Okay, I
think
have been
about it?
blocked by tons of people on Blue Sky that have it automatic that if you use something
Oh,
AI, they block you. Like tons
oh,
of them, 50, 60, 70, and only because I put up a meme that I didn't know was AI. I mean, I'm an old fart. I don't know all the time. I didn't know. I make all my graphics on Canva. And Canva, I mean, my graphics are great, and I try to use all of the I mean, all of the stuff that's not AI. Like the artists upload to Canva, and they use Blender, and they use Adobe, and all that. So I don't choose AI ever. So my thumbnails are all original, but you just don't know anymore because AI is everywhere, and you can't get away from it.
yeah, it's true. I mean, sometimes you can still pick it out sometimes, but even then, I just think on some level that the puritanical hate for it, I think, is just like a little bit ridiculous. Of what uh, I respect it. I'm grateful for it because it helps create just more political pushback that we need. Because at the end of the day, AI is just like another tool, and it's I guess like it or not, it's coming, it's here. So we're gonna.
But do you
It's not
think,
up to us. It's not like there's
right?
no people can push back against it locally and fight data centers and stuff. But at the end of the day, AI is going to get pushed through, and so it already has been in some form. And I mean, even if so many data centers
Everything.
fail, just bubble and pops, it's still going to be here for a while. And but at the end of the day, it's a tool like anything else. And so, but it's such a huge tool, and it's been so tied in with our politics and with the point that we are in like human history and technological advancement, and just kind of the bubble of economic growth. And I think kind of the last frontier of like economic bubbles, it's AI. I think this is the last pop. This is the last. They're gonna be able to squeeze. I don't know. Like I said, if we're running out of ideas, like what can they come up with after AI to generate that kind of like
Oh my
valuation
God.
of Wall Street? And it's space exploration, of course, but that's also like, what are they gonna do? I mean, what has SpaceX really done other than blow up a bunch of rockets? We're not. I don't think we're going to the moon or Mars and starting colonies. Maybe
No,
the
but
moon.
he's going to put data centers up there.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, data centers in space, and because he has a ridiculous idea that'll help keep it cool. But I think that's well, I don't think that's gonna. That can fail in a thousand ways. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna find out because that's the insane times we live in. It's we're just the rich people, and that's the ultimate problem with everything. Really, it comes down to the politics, and like AI could be useful, and it's also kind of an extension of the roots of Marxism with the Industrial Revolution, and it's coming for your jobs the way that automation was a lot of the fuel for Marxism. It's AI is in an economic sense. In that sense, it's an extension of the same thing, a modern version of the same thing, and we'll have people, all the plutocrats. Elon Musk will say things like, "Oh, it's going to take all these jobs, and we'll need universal basic income," but then he'll go and cut social services, do everything he can to cut social services, starve millions of the poorest people in the world
Right.
by cutting funding. And so, like, clearly, we're not going to politically get it from the same people who are telling us it's. I mean, these people are just insane, but at the end of the day, it comes down to power, and so they're wielding it. And at the end of the day, our government's going to prop it up. It already is propping it up, and that's one of the interesting things because Bernie has talked about having a creating a sovereign wealth fund for the U.S. and taking like half ownership of all these U.S. AI companies.
Yeah, he is. I listened
Trump
to
said he's
him.
open to the same idea, and so it's
That's unusual, right?
I kind of, but it's just like at the end of the day, it matters. It's like who is going to be your president. That's kind of I, because if the bubble pops, there's a lot of things to it. Like if the bubble pops, there's going to be huge economic fallout. Like the poorest, of course, and the working class are going to be hit the hardest, and the rich are going to get bailed out by the government, at least as the government's currently construed. So at least the government having half ownership of it would, I mean, it'd do two things. It cushion some of that, but it
Yeah.
also give some democratic influence over AI and its build out and development and rollout and everything because clearly we're not getting that from the government now. They're just supporting it. They're just taking the money and doing whatever they want. So at least then, which so that comes back to the problem. I mean, it's politics, it's power, it's okay. So
Power.
we're just in a trap here, and it's just clearly it's they're betting kind of the future of capitalism on it. Capitalism's kind of run out of gas now, and this is what they've got AI and space exploration in. So it's not a coincidence at all that they're tying them together.
And war, Scott. War. I
Oh, and war, of
mean,
course, yeah, the classic.
war,
Never
the
changes. So,
gazillion-dollar business, war. Well,
yeah,
Bernie's talking about the sovereign wealth fund, which is akin to what they've done in Norway, and they did it with because of their profits from the fossil fuel industry, and the same thing as Alaska.
yeah, yeah, with oil, yeah.
Hmm.
But
God, this is driving me crazy. I feel like I've got an AI alien in my headphones.
oh, are you hearing? Is anyone else hearing that? Do you,
I don't know what's happening here tonight.
or
I
just
really
you?
don't. Okay. You talk.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hype around it, but personally, I've used AI a little bit. Like, I think people should too. So here's one thing. Uh, as long as it's free, I think people should like this. This is getting built either way with our government support and everything. So I think kind of think people should like decent people should smart people smart enough to use AI without using it as a tool and not becoming the tool of the AI because our education system has failed so utterly that I mean we've seen it and I mean people having relationships with AI, getting therapy through it, getting crazy ideas, going on mass shootings, whatever name it. AI has been an accomplice at this point. It's ChatGPT has been an accomplice. It's absolutely crazy, and sometimes it's
How
always
in
had
the
weird
do you
stuff.
understand how that works? Can you describe that or talk about that a little bit maybe?
Which part?
The
I mean,
AI, how it makes people do things.
well, it at the end of the day, they're kind of made to they want to please the user at the end of the day, and so they'll go along with things and give people information on. I mean, people got like bioweapon, tips from Claude and stuff, and there have been stories of people using ChatGPT before they go in mass shootings and helping them and telling them, giving them tips on how to maximize publicity or body count. And it's and that's all that there's people talk about it, the media talks about it, Congress might bring CEOs, at least they used to, and berate them, but there's nothing's really happening in the US at least to change that. I think Europe's a little yes, and so I think AI will could be definitely useful in a lot of ways, and it's useful for some people. I mean, you hear climate scientists, researchers, different medical uses, but you also always got to double check it. But one of the big problems is information wise is just the way that corporations have turned everything into AI, and now they've destroyed search engines. Like it's hard to find a lot like things that there have been like climate science articles that I've looked at for 10, 15 years. Bring them up on the internet just to like have as
Hang
our
on.
ammunition.
Can you turn your volume up? We're just
Yes,
having, you
yes.
know what? This is a heck of a show. I sound like I'm
Not,
on Mars to me. And it's basically
is
because
that up?
I don't know, they'll tell us because I'm hearing you or
Okay.
not. It's just, you know what? Tonight is
Also
whatever.
move closer. Yeah,
I
just
was out all day moving somebody. I'm so tired from my endeavors, but we're here.
yeah, we're here because that Soros checks haven't come through yet. But But yeah, I mean, so AI has definitely got some like legitimate uses, and it's interesting. It's a nice tool, but it's just it's so overhyped, and it's overhyped for a reason. It's overhyped so these people can make tons of money, and essentially, and that's it. And it warps their mind. They say the stupidest things. I mean, one of the stupidest things I think I've ever heard anyone say was when Sam Altman. This is what this just kind of gave it away. I was like, because I was on the fence about Sam Altman. Like, okay, maybe he's actually smart, but and like you think about that about all these people, these supposed kind of genius tech billionaire, uh, guru types or whatever, Elon Musk and everyone. And then, they'll say something and you'll be like, you know what, this guy is so fucking stupid. But uh, I mean, what gave it away was it was a couple years ago, and he said when he said that AI would help solve climate change, and I was just like, what? I mean, well, like, what is that? That doesn't even make sense. First off, you obviously don't even understand climate change at all if you would say anything like that. That doesn't really make any sense at all. That's not the problem at all. There's no AI stuff. Like, what kind of? I don't even know. Like, as a child, even
Technologically, he's probably thinking AI will come up with some crazy technology that we haven't thought of as humans.
yeah, it's exactly. So he's just like never taken the problem seriously at all. And then now we've got. So here's one of the big things that really is bothers me at this point about the data centers is the Inflation Reduction Act, greatest climate bill of all time. We knew AI was coming when it was written. Like they didn't address it at all. And like I said this at the time, but I kind of didn't, I had bigger problems with it, I guess. But it it didn't address it at all. And we saw this coming. We saw this huge, and so it was huge for helping transition the easy part of the climate, dealing with the climate crisis, which is transitioning, electricity specifically, energy and electricity. And uh, so we were getting all these new renewables, and at the same time we got all this new demand that's kind of infinite because it's a bubble, and it's not there's I mean the demand is really truly infinite for AI. It's like how much money can the government print, how much money do rich people have, like all of it. I don't know, they could go until the planet runs out of steam, and like that's the only stop that there really is on any of this until the economic bubble bursts. And who knows if that will even happen is the thing. It might really just be the entire planet like rapidly collapsing is what's going to bring down the stock market. It's going to go from record highs to the next day there is no stock market.
Speaking
Of
of collapse, can I show you what somebody sent me? They did this.
course.
It's AI. Do I even look like that? I mean, that was a picture. I have a lot of cats, but do I even look like? I mean, I well, a lot of makeup, but that's AI right there.
There we go.
I said
Oh,
you're going to make a picture of me in AI. Look at the back of it. Uh, all right, that somebody
man,
sent me.
so
Oh my god,
awesome. Yeah, I've played with AI some because
I
I had a
didn't.
Adobe subscription at a time.
I asked for it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, like I had an Adobe subscription for a while, and they had it included with it, and I had it for the
Oh,
video, and so I started using my credits just to play around with some stuff. But I never, put anything out. But it was just it was interesting. But it can be a cooler tool. Like it depends on, and you're seeing it now because we see the slop, and I guess a lot of people are entertained by slop.
uh,
I don't know. I don't know if there's gonna be a limit if we're gonna get slopified, like overcome with slop, and become like realize that I think there will be that. Maybe it'll be with different mediums. It'll be different. Like
I'm going to do a show and teach people how to identify it. Older people, I think. Tell them how
yeah,
to look for it because it's all bullshit. The gardening channels, you know what's happening to all my gardening channels? They all, Gary Pilarchik, I love him. He writes on his thing, I am not AI. I have four or five favorite gardening channels, and then the rest of these things are popping up. They're all slop with bullshit ideas on how to grow your plants, like microscopically using crap. It's bullshit. It's terrible. They're getting
yeah.
hurt. And people like me, I don't even make enough to pay for what the channel costs. And these people are making AI slop videos, stealing everything because basically AI was everything human fed into the machines to learn as and ripping off everything we've ever done.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the big justifications that I think makes sense for public ownership of AI. I mean, even complete ownership, honestly, I don't know. I would be for, but we also need a more sane government. But to get that, we need a more sane people and educated people. And now we've got AI destroying like everything, literally destroying books to scan them and to give us the output that might be part of an advertisement now, in free chat GPT, they said they're putting advertisements in so users won't know, uh, what their chat GPT response might be paid for by.
Ryan Hall holds a different type of fruit for every video to thwart AI, although he uses a lot of AI. He's got an AI bot on his weather show, but I guess he's using it for good. But it's amazing to listen to this thing. He just asks it a question and it just answers. It says, "Well, Ryan, we're having tornadoes in blah 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 blah." It's unreal. It is scary.
Yeah, it's on some level though. I wonder if it'll kind of accelerate the evolution of art. I just faster than it rots the collective human mind. I don't know. I guess that's the
I think
challenge.
the collective human mind was Swiss cheese and starting to rot before AI. I mean, seriously,
Yeah,
think
I
about
know.
it.
I
You
know. That's
know,
why it's not. Yeah, I mean,
I'm an example. I mean, I
it
used to
just
know
seems
where
like
I
a
was going. You use a GPS, right? I've been to some place 150 times, but I'll still put the GPS on. For what? It's like, oh, I feel like a Swiss cheese brain.
I
I'm
don't know. I
I'm
don't.
guilty.
I feel like COVID did a lot too to Swiss cheese our brains a little bit more than we already were.
You're probably right. There's a lot out there on that. I wonder, can
Uh,
COVID, I mean, can I know that virologist Vincent Racconello of TWIV, This Week in Virology, Microbe TV, he does use it. He says he uses it for certain things in the scientific arena. And it cuts through the time it takes for him to research the same thing. It cuts through. But I'm wondering, are you getting the right answers? Are you getting the right? What do you know
Sometimes,
about that?
I mean, you can ask, these AI the same question twice sometimes, or sometimes I've had, ask ChatGPT a question, and then I'll say, "Are you sure?" And then it'll be like, "Well, actually, no, that was wrong." I was like, "Okay," or like I'll be like, "Look, I'm pretty sure that's wrong," and it'll be like, "Actually, you're right. Yeah, that's." And there's certain things that I know happen. Like this is how I know history is being erased. Like I've asked it about things that I know that I read in books long ago, and I asked it because I was like, this happened, right? Like I wanted some like resources to, and then it's like, no, no, there's no record, record of this happening. I'm like, okay, so AI didn't read the book, and what's going to happen to the books? Who knows? We'll stop printing them. I don't know if Kindle doesn't publish them in digital form forever, then we're just losing pieces of history, American cultural history, and who knows what every other kind of history is kind of being forgotten, rewritten. Out of it's and we're burning it from both ends because the future is going to come up and literal mega fires will burn down our libraries as AI is erasing, taking books and rotting our brains, and we go to it for answers, and it might be an advertisement, and sometimes they hallucinate and they're wrong, but
Oh yeah, like
it
taking my channel down last year, exactly a year
AI
ago. It was
when
an
AI
AI.
for something because it goes to shit, and like it's really annoying. You're like they just forced AI in this, and now it's like on you. Like my autocorrect. I mean, who's the one guy? Rutger Bregman. Yeah, Rutger Bregman. Yeah, he's an interesting guy, but I don't know. I like him, but I disagree with him on like everything. So it's kind of but he did a thing.
That's how you learn.
Yeah, he's been
By
talking about that a
yeah.
lot recently. But one thing he always says is that like people criticize it as being like a because he was criticizing leftist like kind of puritanical criticism of AI and saying that we need to accept it. Basically, do what Bernie is saying. He's basically on Bernie's side. We need to take public ownership and have a strong. So actually, let's see. So what was yeah basically have international coordination and the state deal with managing AI safely and responsibly for the benefit of all human beings. But like that's the most ridiculous shit. I mean, sometimes with these liberals, I'm like, where have you been? Like, where the fuck are you living? When was I? Even if Democrats were in charge of all, every branch of our government, they wouldn't do that shit. Like, they would still be in the pockets of these same companies. Like,
Of
there is,
course, that's
he's
the
in Europe,
way.
but
Yeah,
comes here to tell us about how to
corruption.
live. But
Yes.
yeah, so I mean that is the real problem. Like with Bernie's plan, as opposed to Trump, like it's who's going to be in charge of how AI and data centers are regulated and supported by government or whatever, shaped by government. It's going to be Trump or Bernie. Well, Trump got elected, Bernie didn't, and
Yeah.
look at
But
these
he
ones.
does say he does say it shouldn't be in just the hands of the few trillionaires. Billy. Well, who became a trillionaire today?
That's the
Elon
problem.
Musk. It.
Governments are
It.
in their hands too. So,
Yeah. So where are we with this then? I mean,
so
we're in
it seems
this
like
clusterfuck.
yeah, I mean, it really seems like, I mean, with the like, in the wake of like the IRA, like I was saying, and the increase in renewables that have been happening, and that the optimists, climate scientists love to go on about the increase in renewables, and then the doomers have been talking about Jevons paradox, of course, forever, where if you so this was kind of the perfect test of the perfect crystallization of it, and of course, unfortunately, the doomers won this round once again, and yeah, so I mean, we've got more and more renewables, but also more and more energy demand for just more and more. Yeah, so it was
For the
that
doomers.
for the doomers.
Okay.
So I guess the doomers were right once again, and I mean that's
You could tell I'm completely out of it tonight. I am completely.
too. Like,
We're here with all of you in the chat, but this is like not the normal. It's not my normal me tonight. I'm not. I feel completely, totally unprofessional.
you know,
I'm so tired. But the whole conversation about AI, I was listening to a video by the channel After School, and he was talking that really made sense about how it is really going to, it can't replace like this, what is it, the Sistine Chapel. It can't replace Michelangelo. It can't replace that kind of art. It's like one dimensional. It's boring. It's not real. It doesn't have the depth. He There was a really good video. Maybe I'll put the link in the show notes. I liked it. And like my channel, me. I mean, here we are, real. We're not just AI. We're not bots going, oh well, blah, blah, and
you've never met me, Sandy, in person. I could just be AI
no, you're
prototype.
not AI. You are not AI, Scott. There's like no fucking way. Sorry, guys.
Um,
Should we do a poll for the audience? Okay, guys, I don't have a poll, but who thinks Scott is AI?
I'm CIA
I don't.
prototype.
CIA? Are you
Going to
CIA?
Everest. They're just here to root you out.
Yeah, I'm such a. We have a total of 38 people watching. I think we're really, really
Oh,
dangerous.
expect the
Yeah,
door knock in the next few minutes. Sorry, y'all.
yeah.
It was AI. Anyway, so I mean, but it's just, I don't know, this dance that the elites are doing. I don't know. I just don't understand why people don't just revolt, because what they're saying is obviously foolish, and people are starting to feel it. I mean, I've met people who were like, "Hey, I coded my own job away, and now I'm like struggling." Hey, welcome to the party, bro.
That's another thing. I heard, okay, so think about this. I was thinking about this when, thinking about stuff about for this show. And I remember back in the day, long time ago, when I was using Excel for spreadsheets, and it was really hard to learn, where the numbers went. I mean, it was sort of automated, but not really. So you had to really put everything in, and they're calling it a boring routine job. But to me, to get those numbers in, to make the payroll work right, to make the processes work right, I felt like it was an incredible challenge. And when I actually learned to make my spreadsheets work correctly, I was thrilled. I didn't think it was awful, but I didn't. And I thought about my secretary and the people in my office that worked with me that did these jobs that AI is really good to take away. And they didn't feel like they were boring rote jobs. They liked the challenge of trying and typing a letter, not it is sad, but I'm
And
old
I think the
fashioned.
problem with spreadsheets is, I think everything's got its kind of different way that AI impacts it. But with spreadsheets, it's, if it makes a mistake. I mean, we've already seen it. We've seen huge mistakes made by AI, and
So you still
it's
have to have a
I don't
human
know
eye.
too. Like, do you you can it's a lot it's a risk if you're not going to have humans double check it. So you like if you want to use it right, first off, you always have to double check it with anything because it will lie, it
Yeah,
hallucinates, it
that's the
will
thing. So where's the checks and balances? What do you have? AI have to check and balance AI itself? I mean,
black box
or
in there.
we still
Yeah,
have
and
the human eye.
even the people making it talk about how they don't totally understand everything it does sometimes and like why it does it and things. So it's like it's on some level it becomes like a black box of what it's doing in there, and it is you know created and shaped, but it's somewhat unpredictable. So, uh, but I just people the way the billionaires, the plutocrats talk about this, they say this is going to take your jobs and everything, but then they'll and so they just say it openly, and it's happening. And then at the same time, they'll destroy what we have, a little social safety net we have, and you know, we're just watching this. Like, and on some level, I'm just like, America, like, how many times we got to tap the we need a motherfucking revolution sign.
Yeah, we do. But
uh,
then you look at China and they are technologically, I mean, they are going to town. They've got gigantic solar farms. They are building everything. They are the surveillance country. They are doing all of that, data centers and everything. But their people can't they don't revolt. Their people are actually happy with all of that. They can't pay with cash anymore. They're very, very technological
the thing
there.
is, they also leverage it to like help the people generally because for one, they're smarter because they want to last for another 1,000 years or whatever. So but the U.S. doesn't think about that. I mean, like the way Trump is just looting and just completely pillaging the country, and the way our government for decades has completely ignored things like the debt and climate change and everything. Like they clearly have no concern about the future. They have no long-term vision and just don't care at all. So, uh, you know,
Do you think it's because they see no future? That's why they have their bunkers and all that other crap? Or do you think
they
like the
just don't care. If you just don't think about it, I think it's just easy to not care and just worry about yourself and worry about your ego. And then with AI, like, oh, we're building this great thing that's going to help so many people. And are you hearing a noise when I'm speaking? Is that just me?
no, I hear it in my I hear mine. It sounds so staticky and awful.
Okay, well, we're both hearing nonsense then.
Yeah, we're having a great night. Drinking my club soda. I should be drinking something else, but I don't. All right,
Yeah,
Tommy. You are, yep, he is right. The USA is rotting. It's obvious to anyone who does a modicum of research. Well, of course, we're on this channel for a reason.
we don't want to know anymore.
I'm
Ignorance is
rotting before your eyes. Oh, God.
eat the AI slop. You don't want to know what's going on in the world.
No, I do, though. I really do.
I mean,
Um,
it's a trip. This is the wild, but I mean, this is it. Literally, when you put it in a huge historical context, it really, with everything has been accelerating. The history is basically it was cyclical for so long. It just kind of went with the seasons, and not much changed. And then slowly, as technology advanced, life changed more and more with every generation. Now it's changing every few decades, and now with AI, it's accelerating like AI growth. It's the fastest industrial build out ever. Like some of the fastest
yeah.
valuation growth of the industry ever. And I mean, you look at it, it's just line goes up. I mean, it looks like human population for a while. It was just line goes up, line go up. Carbon emissions, line go up.
What is it? I just wanted to put this up real quick. Tommy is It's great, Tommy, to see you for now. But think about how quickly AI has advanced in the space of human lifetime. It took 4 billion years for evolution to produce human intelligence. That's chilling when you think about the speed. That's why I think it's, yeah, the speed of to our end, humanity. But then I'm not prognosticating the date. I'm not saying there's a date. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be slow. That's the thing is it's weird. We really are like the boiling frog. like that applies to us. Frogs will jump out of the pot, but like over a longer time that we get used to it. People get used to it and slowly adapt. But thing is, the planet will keep changing more than we can adapt to.
Do you think
The fun-
the planet will be able to adapt to what the assaults are? I mean, okay, look at there's a county in Virginia. I don't know if it's called Loudonville. I don't exactly know, but it's like the data center,
uh,
the center of data centers. I mean, everywhere. And I saw a video on it, and I really couldn't believe the buildings everywhere in that county. How can the earth even be anything natural in that kind of environment? But you could have said the same thing about shopping malls, 40 years ago, I guess. What do you
yeah,
think?
the thing is, with AI, it just seems like an acceleration, just a hyper acceleration of stupidity, just right before the whole project of civilization and human history goes boom. Because they even like they heat up the area around them and everything. They cause more emissions. They heat up the area around them. Like it's for the stupidest shit, just for AI slop. For what? For these stupid like a dog dancing. I don't know, a fake. And some of it's some uses are okay, but a lot of it is just pure bullshit, pure nonsense, and they're pumping so much into it just for a bubble, just to make more money. And yeah, it has some legitimate uses, but then use them for those. And it's like I've used it a little bit, so I've tried to use it some like throughout, kind of as it's developed and tested out. And I've had some interesting conversations. It is, maybe I should say some nice things about AI. I guess it's
Oh,
you can
you've had
com-
interesting conversations with
you can call it a conversation,
AI?
kind of, yeah,
Tell me
yeah, because
about that. I don't know anything about this. I'm scared to do it. And besides, I would never tell anybody because I hate data centers.
I don't know how many topics it would work on, but um, what I asked it about, I was basically in it because it's basically built off conventional wisdom, conventional, when it comes to climate change and the future of the human species, and it's built on all the collective conventional human wisdom and science and stuff. So, I first I just asked it basically how likely is it that humanity goes extinct from global warming, and it's of course it dismisses it at first, and it's basically like runaway greenhouse is impossible. And so it turned into like a whole long debate, and then like not really a debate, because the thing is you don't want to, it wants to, you have to realize that they also want to they want to make you happy.
And you're
So you want
typing it, right?
to,
You're typing all this?
yeah, so
Yeah.
you want to frame things like
Jeez.
neutrally or like against the point that you want, so that way it will, if it, because if you just basically can tell it what you want, like you have to think about it as a tool, so so you don't become the tool, so you don't, like if you're like when I ask it a normal question, it'll just I'll frame it so it would like want to, like I am taking the opposite, basically devil's advocate against yourself, and then see if it argues with you and is like, no, actually, and then you'd be like, okay, that's what I thought. So instead of you know uh
So you can
doing,
play with it. You can game AI?
yeah, it can be gamed to some extent, yeah, because it will
No shit.
change over time. It's just the way it's built. I don't know too much about exactly how it functions, but
I
it's
tried it once. I think it was one of the free ones. And
it's
I
okay,
put,
yeah.
yeah, so far. And I wrote about it in my Substack. I think I asked it about being, am I a doomer? Is Sandy a doomer? I don't know where the article is. I can barely forget, but yeah. It broke your heart, Ernie? Oh, Ernie's so sweet. Did it break your heart, Scott?
Oh, no, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I guess at the end of the day, it kind of was like, okay, you have a point. Yeah, I guess, yeah, maybe human can go extinct from global warming. It was a long, but it was nice to like, I worked through like all the complex, because it's a big, there's a lot of things that feed into it. It's not just climate science, it's also
Right.
politics and ecology and everything. And like, if you don't look at the holistically, which is why like people like Michael Mann just don't seem to, like a lot of the climate science communicators and stuff, they don't seem to,
Whoops.
they're just off the mark. I mean, they act like we're just going to do the right thing. Like politicians are just going to act on climate and follow Michael Mann's advice. It's like, have you met a like he's met politicians? He's been like it's like this with all these liberals. It's the same thing. I'm like, you wonder what planet are you living on where you think people are going to act like this? Like we have to change. you have to do something different at least. I mean, that's all you can do is do something different because you've done the same thing for decades. So, well, we still have time to act. We still have time to act. We still have time to act. We just need solar panels. Price of renewables is going down. Renewable adoption is accelerating. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't bring down atmospheric concentration of CO, like carbon emissions, greenhouse gases. That's the metric that really matters at the end, and that's the one that's going to heat us up. And so,
That's the metric. That's one of the metrics. I mean, that's only one of the metrics. We have
kind of, I think
overshoot.
that's the important one to see. One of the, I think that's the easiest to read and the most important metric to
Sure,
see what
sure.
how our climate action and
And
emissions are doing.
then we're called climate alarmists by the idiots that don't understand anything. I'm looking for my article now that I wrote on what I asked it. It's so long ago. It's on Substack. I put so much crap up there, but
Yeah. But
I
yeah, I think like I think people who hate AI should use it when it's free. Like while it's free, it won't always be free. But and I mean they're destroying everything else, all the alternatives anyway. So they're gonna try to force everyone to use it, but who knows how it'll work out.
I
But
think for
well,
me,
it's
my problem would be not so much the tool, but I think for me the problem is because I don't want data centers to destroy my beautiful county of farmland and we're the western New York wilds, and then I would feel like a big hypocrite, and that's what
it's
stops me from even wanting to go further than what I did with the questioning. But I kind of want to
data
just
centers is going to be political action and grassroots community
well,
action
that's what
stuff.
we're doing. We're doing it here. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
big deal
that's good.
now.
Yeah, no, you should do that 100%. Like, but my point is, like,
Yeah.
economically, I,
Yeah.
it's basically costing them more money. It's costing them more energy, and they're going to be using that anyway. And right now, it's part of the bubble, and this isn't going to stop. We're not going to have politicians come in and end this thing and deal with this, and we're not going to be able to stop the bubble everywhere. We're not going to be able to stop them from building these things everywhere. Like it's going to go until it pops, until these companies start running out of money, until OpenAI runs out of money and just cannot, keep going. So you using them for free while they're not charging for it only costs them more money. It only accelerates that day when they finally
Right.
collapse.
That's what
Apparently,
I
there's
did. I used it for free, but I'm looking for what I wrote. It's like
but I
forever
wouldn't
ago. I can't even remember.
just there's some things it's useful for and some things it's not. And now that search engines are pretty broken, it's unfortunately a little bit more useful than
I like
uh,
to exercise my brain. That's the thing. And
yeah.
now when I read people's essays, I'm always thinking, is it AI? Because I got all kinds of freaked out by the M dash. And I used the M dash in something I wrote. It was something I used when I was in my office. And the M dash was a long dash, and I used to use the M dash to send around stuff that had to be edited that I wanted my team to edit. So I wrote something when I started with Substack, and then Brett says, that's AI. And I'm like, what? So I was like upset, hysterical. Of course, I went and researched the whole thing. That's when I did this. And I learned. And now I look at people's writing. I'm like, are they using the M dash? Are they using the rules of three? Are they doing all this shit?
Well,
What?
so I use M dash sometimes now. Once I
Well,
learned how to do it on the keyboard, for some I didn't know how to do it for so long or how to use it. I had to learn grammar back
yeah,
in
the
like
long dash. It was
long
just
it's so
something
long.
I did. It was a
It's
keystroke. I
different.
came up.
Like Option Shift and dash on my
Yeah.
computer.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
Well, I'm looking for this thing. So
um,
let me ask you about what. All right. So what do you think? You wanted to talk about the article that Bernie wrote in the New York Times. I couldn't pull it up because I'm not paid for. I don't have a paying subscription. Talk
just
about that a little.
it's Bernieism. It's what you'd expect. I mean, it's really just about uh, workers and the government, a democratic government, taking control of half of well, you know, AI companies to for the benefit of all of us because it's built on all public knowledge and all human collective knowledge, and it's such a threat to the working class. And so, I mean, it's all
Right.
logical. The reality is, it's like, can we get there? Maybe. I mean, there's some more progressives, in the Senate and stuff, but I'm not optimistic. The Democrats are still just such a shit party. It's like they're so effective. They're great at stopping progress, and but we'll see how things shake out. And I mean, they've been messing. The thing is, they had a lot of wins. They had a lot of wins after they purged Jamal Bowman, Corey Bush.
Oh, oh,
Like,
I was very upset about that.
so
Really
hopefully
upset about that.
they've still been
And
active. But it was like, we had like, I don't know, not even like 10 progressives in Congress, and they purged like a handful in one election. I was like, okay, that's
all right, but we could, if you
anyway. But
start talking about that, that's a different show.
but
Yeah.
that's a whole. But it's all related though. It's all part of it. It's our politics just isn't going to address this realistically. I don't know. It's just going to accelerate the end, I guess, or just for the stupidest AI slob. The end of the world is going to be, you know, I don't know what's the latest AI.
The end of the world. My thing was I made it a video. I forgot. It was back in a while last year. And I wrote, "Am I a doomer?" And that was what I asked. And then of course I made it into a video. Yeah, but I'm not going to show it now, but I that's what I did. And
Yeah, I don't want to share my conversation because it was long. It was like, I don't know. I don't want to persuade people. I don't want to. It's
no, but it's interesting that you
like,
did it. It's
I'm just
interesting.
gonna go
It's
for it.
making me want to do it, but I am one of those people that gets consumed with guilt about being a hypocrite. And then that one or two times that all those idiots on Blue Sky did that to me.
Yeah, I mean, that you got to ignore that. Everyone's a hypocrite. That's You got to get over that. We're never gonna. We would never be able to deal with climate change or anything if we're not
You're
going to accept
right.
the world to some degree.
Well, of
Like,
course I'm a hypocrite in my life. I drive a fucking gas sucking truck. I
like
rode a motorcycle for 30 seconds. I mean,
these
yeah.
people, I don't know what they had for lunch. They had some, some living being that didn't want to
Yeah.
die and shit. And
Right.
it's like, oh, you could go on about, but everyone wants to moralize. Oh man, yeah, blue sky is Jesus Christ.
They are. It's they're snowflakes to I mean, it's like I didn't even know. So instead of blocking me, how about saying, "Did you know that that graphic was AI?" and explain to me, instead of like they jumped all over me in the whole thread. Did you know? And but not using it as a teachable moment. I really didn't know. I thought somebody made it on Canva, just like
So
I did.
ridiculous because
Let him
you
jump
know,
all over me. I was fucking pissed. I'm like 50, 60. But you see, the thing was
from
on
the blue
Blue Sky, they have
products.
this thing called listifications, but it's AI that tells you you're using AI, and it's AI that then automatically blocks you. So they're a bunch of idiots.
See, everyone's a hypocrite. That's what
They're
I'm
all
saying.
fucking immigrants. Yeah.
Everyone loves the virtue signal, but you got to.
Ugh.
It's a key part of everything. Though, is like if you're always going to be concerned about being a hypocrite, especially because our problems are collective. And so if you're concerned about personally being a hypocrite,
Okay.
I think on some things, I mean, I think, mainly like diet, like, uh, I think that's the one thing that's always going to be a personal choice because the animals aren't ever going to,
Yeah.
we're not going to see them as part of our collective, but, so, until we do. But, other than that, everything's the collective, it's, like these are all collective problems. AI, if I use it or don't, they're still going to build the next data center, and if they don't, it's going to be because of local opposition, which you can be a part of or not, and that's going to be
Yep.
what stops it.
And
Not
that's what's going to be what stops it here because people here they're pissed off over a battery collection.
it helps push back the bubble, beat it back a little bit. But also, I think it's using it for free does the same thing because it costs them money. It costs them money while they're running out of money, and the sooner they run out of money, the sooner this bubble pops, and we can stop this mess and get out of this freaking delusion.
Money.
That
Here, I got a question from Keith. K Dog, baby. Question: if I write something and put it into AI and it gives me info and I rewrite to polish with the new content, did AI produce the final result or did I? That's a good question.
co-authors. Like
Co-author.
I
Oh,
use it.
co-authors.
Like I feel like that wouldn't really be, but it's also you could
AI
probably
would be your editor in a way.
change it enough. If you don't change it enough to not realize that it's AI, it's gonna be bad. So I tried to use like I use AI for grammar because I'm pretty bad at grammar. So I'll put a grammar, but even sometimes then it'll be wrong, and I'll ask it. I'll be like, "Are you sure?" And then it'll be like, "Oh, actually."
Oh, really? I have books behind me. I have old fashioned grammar books and I still use them. I
I
do.
I
I
wanted
do.
to buy I wanted an editor, but then they're so expensive. I was like,
Oh, you mean like an editor for your book? Like a
Yeah,
real person editor, human
we like
being. I'll
like I
help you. I'll
got
read.
money I'm trying
No,
to
you
pay
don't
rent
need
next.
any money. I'm gonna read it for you. Listen,
Well,
I'm a helper bee.
like sometimes, like I would use it sometimes for some things, and it would never give you like it would never give anything that I would use, at least like even as like chunks. But I would
There's
take
that
like a
book.
piece, take tell it to give you like five options of something, and then I would maybe take a piece of each. Okay, so
One of my big books. I
put it in the
be-
mail. They shut
the
down USPS.
the Greg reference manual. Special rules, personal names, and I mean it has everything you want and to when you're writing. I mean it has. I've had this shit for years. I guess I am old. I am old. I am old. I use the goddamn Greg reference manual still.
That's awesome.
And I'm not
Uh,
even the greatest writer. And my writing on Substack changes. Sometimes I sound different on different articles or different thought patterns how I'm writing. Sometimes I'll sit in the kitchen and talk into my iPad. See, there's computer, there's whatever. I talk into my iPad. And if I verbally write, it sounds different than when I type out something.
yeah, yeah, I can see that.
So I guess that's kind of an AI thing I'm using, right? Kind of. I don't know.
It's not like the generated.
How does AI know all policies? Because the the AI was trained on all of that. That whole Greg reference manual was probably input to some system along with everything else. It's just the speed. The reason why we have these gigantic data centers, Wanda, is because of all the information that the computers hold to pull it so fast. Remember the 286 computer and then the 386 and the 486? I mean, we're now I mean, eons and light years beyond that. But that's how it's progressed.
So what Bernie said is the reality is that the AI oligarchs do not want to just replace specific jobs. They want to replace workers. As
Yes.
Dario Omedai, the head of Anthropic, has said, AI isn't a substitute for specific human jobs, but rather a general labor substitute for humans. According to OpenAI's charter, its mission is to build highly autonomous systems that outperform humans at most economically valuable work. So, I mean, they say it out loud and we don't revolt on some level. It's like, well,
Yeah. And then they want to have more babies. Have more babies, but there'll
maybe,
be
yeah,
no jobs.
our
Oh,
robots can
wait,
eat.
they got to be white babies. Sorry,
Yeah.
white babies. Have more white babies, but they'll have no jobs.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just, the future is dark. I mean, I'm not surprised, but uh,
They are expense because it compares each token to every other token. Its database. Oh, okay. Before producing an output, that's like computer speak. That's IT speak. But yeah,
yeah,
so
I mean, that does.
much goes into that. So much. We're very interactive with our chat tonight. I think they're happy. It's
So
goofy.
it's been crazy to watch the internet go from like being an awesome thing for democracy and like information communication and everything learning and everything to like, hey, well, like it's one of the big problems with AI is now it's people use it because everything so many things are paywalled, like you were just saying, the New York Times article paywalled, New Washington Post paywalled, you go to CNN, any of the legit or formerly legit semi legit uh major news outlets, everything's paywalled. uh
And
you go to
but all the
go to
Nazis and the racists aren't.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing is, and then all the propaganda is free. The AI slap is free. That
Yeah,
and propaganda is free, and so that's just going to warp our society even more. And
we're
some
warped.
see it. Yeah, I mean, we were already
Oh,
warped, so
oh,
we're
I saw.
like
Okay, there
people
was.
don't even realize how
Yeah,
insane we are as a
we're
society. It's
insane. There was an AI video. I don't know how I stumbled on this shit on X. It was literally Adolf Hitler baking gingerbread cookies and putting them in an oven, and you exactly know what I'm saying. It was so blatant and so hideous. I reported the video, and X came back and said it was fine, even though it was completely disgusting. I mean, completely disgusting. Whether, however you feel about Israel, which everybody knows how I feel about it. Everybody knows how I feel about the genocide. Everybody knows. But that was a really offensive video. It was disgusting. And it's fine. It's fine. A whole generation is growing up to see this shit.
Yeah, and staring at, I mean, they're probably better than you or I even at spotting AI stuff. Right? I mean, we'll need to get better, going forward because it's going to keep getting better. But that's one of the things is, even with celebrities and stuff, like we're sort of it's the information war, but we've lost. Like the truth is lost to the information war. It seems like, and the propagandists have everything. They own the AI companies. They own all the media companies. They own the government, and they're
Yeah.
gutting education for,
Larry Ellison.
gutting the humanities as they call them, and then gutting everything for the poor. And it's just yeah, I mean, idiocracy is, it used to seem a little bit extreme, and now I'm like, it seems a little tame almost. It's
Yeah,
just
we were so freaked out
it's,
when Kellyanne Conway said alternative facts. Now
yeah,
everything is alternative facts. Remember?
exactly.
I mean, it was not even
Yeah.
it's the last 10 years
But soon,
since
I mean, sometimes I wonder too if it's going to create kind of like a monoculture. If once they stamp out enough of like enough of people who know different and get like cared enough to know different, like once they,
in the
there aren't
US, are you talking
government.
about the US or are you talking about the world?
It's
Cuz
probably specific to
there's
the U.S. right
yeah.
now. It's
Yeah,
different. A lot of other countries, but as the U.S. goes, if the U.S. collapses, like we're gonna take the world.
you
That's
think.
the problem. It's is
You think that the
America
US
was.
collapses, we are going to affect a 5,000-year-old civilization like Iran, who has now really shown the world
We
that,
already did. I mean, because the U.S. has been the main driver of carbon emissions. What's going to happen to the entire Middle East? I mean, as people aren't, we never talk
well,
about it.
we
The
already
Middle East,
know it's hot.
like it's already hot, but like it's just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. Like it's and then
Okay,
water
that's
pressures
true.
are going. It's I don't see how you know
Yeah.
with the realistic warming that we have coming. I mean, it's probably I think 3.5 to 4 degrees at least by 2100, and we're already seeing it now, 1.5.
The ministry of the
And
future.
yeah, we're
Jesus
already in.
Christ.
I mean, we're starting to blow past dystopian,
I know.
warning stories at this point.
I know. I
And
just did the update with Jim on the oceans, every different aspect of the oceans, and it is it's terribly upsetting. And of course taking away the measuring tools.
yeah, which is see exactly. I mean, that's another the same thing, the same part of the information war. Like they're waging it on all research and information they don't want, and and they've corrupted and paywalled, scientific journals. I mean, they've and inundated them with AI slop too, which makes it worse. And I mean, they've and AI has taken over the internet. It's taken over everything with slop, with money. That's a lot of the times with a purpose of just destroying stuff or just personal gain. And just so much of it, I mean, just comes down to greed, capitalism. Everyone just wanting to run a scam. Everyone can be a grifter because you can create your own AI scam real easy now, just as like you can do anything else. So,
Yeah, I
you know,
thought I sat here and said, well,
literally
maybe I
just
should make
out.
40
Like
channels.
I just love being away from all screens and technology. And I don't even like the internet anymore. I'm like this. The internet used to be great. It used to be
Yeah.
used to use it to start movements, protests, and affect some kind of real change. To try to we almost got a guy elected president who started just talking online, then met in person, started making it happen, and did a lot of good things in the 2010s. But it seems like that internet is just gone. Between social media, the way social media companies are just all openly fascist now. All the US, major US.
Okay. How do you think it started?
How did what started?
How our downward slide into fascism? How did it start?
The U.S. I think it's. I mean, sometimes it like I wonder like how it just feels like forces of history, just whole geological history. I mean, we were the big. At the end of the day, if it all comes down to Marxism and economics and the relations between power and economics, we were just the superpower at the time that technology exploded. That we had that huge ramp up in technology during the 20th century, and the U.S. was the only industrialized country after the end of World War II, and so we became so rich and so wealthy, and I guess maybe we did what any wealthy country would do, and on top of that, we're founded on genocide and slavery. So it didn't even we were already primed for evil, and it just seems like I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, where did evil start? I don't know. It seems very human. I mean, it's the same way that people say like, "Oh, Trump doesn't represent us," or America does something crazy, and people are like, "This is not us." Liberals are like, "This is not us." It's like, no, this is very much us. Like, Trump is so American, but in the same way, America is so human, and I
Yeah,
think a lot of people want to deny that too. But the same way America is, it's we're all humans here, even though we it feels
I
like
know. I
humans
know.
some.
Do you think AI is evil? Hmm.
I mean, I don't think it has moral agency, so I don't really think it can be. But I think
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to
maybe
hear.
I think hypothetically it could become so. I mean, if it can really, once it becomes able to kind of control some kind of automation, in the real world, and really like maybe hack systems, launch nukes on its own, and it decides to. But at the same time, if it doesn't have access to any, say, if it doesn't have access to any kind of moral philosophy, then I guess you couldn't blame it. But if it does, then you could.
How about this one? Do you think
Unless it's
the
smarter than unless it nukes us out of
oh,
concern for the planet or something.
you think the
Which,
idiots in the US would ever elect an AI president?
oh my god, yeah, totally, dude.
Give me a scenario. Just tell us a story at the top of your head.
All right, they're gonna 2038. Is that an election year? Okay, let's say 2040. That sounds like yeah. Uh,
36.
okay, yeah. Let's go 20.
I
Let's
still
go
count on my fingers. All
2040. Things are pretty
right.
desperate, but they want to. Everyone's pining for the good old days. We want to get back to normal, make America great again. So they repeal the term limits for presidents, and they bring back AI hologram Donald J. Trump for his third term, 2040, America's last president.
That's creepy. That's really creepy. You
Oh
know,
man,
so
yeah,
do you
weapons.
remember when the internet was all abuzz and saying that Netanyahu was AI at that
Yeah,
point? That it was
I
last
was
year.
so sad. Oh my
We were
god,
hoping he was dead. No shit.
I couldn't hope that much though. I knew because I was like, don't get your hopes up because that could be a
No,
huge.
because every other week they're saying Trump is dying on like Midas touch and all that shit. And oh, he's dying, and this
It's gonna be
no,
the next week.
just like he says 39 times. Oh, we have a deal. We have a deal. I hate that word deal. I hate it. Hate it. We have a deal. We have a deal. We have a deal. We have a deal. Oh, fuck you and your deal.
Yeah, it's been a complete clown show.
Right. So, what do you think AI? Let's go back to what it could be used for good. And in a different world than we are, how would you see, okay, regulation? Bernie talks about regulating AI. What would that look like?
I mean, like I guess ideally, ideally, part of the problem is I think we would be so like educated enough that we a lot of the threats that people want to say they want to regulate away with would be uh, basically like inoculated against. I think that's like that with a lot of things. Like if we I kind of like gun control. I feel like if we dealt with a lot of other things, at this point we can't get the guns back in the bag. We're not putting 400 million guns anywhere. Like they're out, it's done. And but we've got a crazy gun control problem. Maybe if you don't, you like guns, you have guns, and or whatever. And no one can deny that. But I feel like one of the big problems with that in mass shootings is like I always say, mental health. But we don't want to actually fund that. No one wants to actually fund that. No one wants to actually accept what that means. Like no one. It's just kind of a thing to that everyone says, liberals, the left, or the right, of course, says to dismiss issues, and they don't, they don't care about, except about themselves, of course. But it's,
Is
you know,
that
got the
going
plan.
back to what you said about humanity? Do you think that is, you say everything's, it's all just showing what humanity is? What is humanity, Scott?
Dude, we are an ape fresh out of the jungle, and forget it. We forget it every day. We are so lost in.
Apes are better.
I mean, we're technically. I mean, the rest of them are. Yeah, they probably look down on us. So, it's we're the ones that made it. But you gotta, I feel like any other ape. I don't know. You gotta wonder, would any other ape have done this in this situation? Would humans have done this if, say, we had like Neanderthal survived? I guess is like a separate lineage or some other kind of like Homo sapien. I always wonder like how would our relationship with our planet and other species be different if other species kind of evolved alongside us that we would communicate with and
Or
do
if
things like.
religion was never some anything ever.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean it's like the same thing. It's just like a part of seems like a part of evolution. Like when you're totally ignorant, you want to make up some childish stories to explain things that you don't know and to teach lessons that will help hold your society together and that are going to and then the ones that work the best tend to last over time, for those. But that works for to grow a illiterate desert tribe into a global force of billion people or whatever. But it doesn't really serve once you get billions of people altering the biosphere. That those kinds of beliefs don't, in a packed world, heating it up. it,
I
it
love
does.
Linda. What if indigenous people successfully fought off the Europeans? What kind of world would we live in now? The European people had to be indigenous at one time.
Oh my god, that's the coolest hypothetical I've ever heard in my life. That's
Thank
so
you,
much to
Linda.
something about
Linda's
that.
so got. She's so cool. I
Just
love Linda.
is there a movie or a book on that or something? That's
Right? Yeah. Somebody should that. Well, I bet there is, but not by you, Scott.
I'm
There's
gonna
a
have to
book.
find it. I
There's
don't
a
know.
book idea. Yeah, a book idea. Scott's an author. Scott's an author. All right.
Yeah,
Ollie had a comment I saw. Okay, wait. Is this it? AI just dished all the consumption of energy. Energy equivalent. This is highly efficient. Generating 1,000 text queries uses roughly the same amount of electricity as fully charging a cell phone. So, Ali, are you saying that's a good thing? I mean, I'm not taking a side here. I'm just not like the data centers. Maybe it's a good thing that what's his name, asshole Musk wants to fly them up into space. But then that's more space garbage. Satellites. Last night I was driving home at night and I could see two satellites. They were two satellites. My friend is sitting in the car. She's like, "That's a tower." I was like, "No, it's satellites. They're hanging. They're not stars, which we thought at first. No, they're satellites. Absolutely satellites."
yeah, that's one thing that I don't want to miss the night sky too much because I know that we're not going to get to keep our view of it. But like, yeah,
We
that,
have it
that's
here.
at some
I have
point.
dead bugs on my truck, and we have the sky here, and that's
Yeah,
why we
we'll
want to
see
keep it that way.
when I get out. I do see a lot of when I get out to Colorado, get way out into the mountains. I'll see some satellites at night, and I guess we'll be getting more and more. And yeah, that'll be interesting. Space debris, and see if any fall to Earth. I guess it's all just one big experiment now that the you know reckless billionaires or you know, children are running everything. So experiment Earth.
Who would have thought, though? I mean, the robber barons were not supposed to be. That people didn't look at them as the good guys, but they weren't even as horrible as. At least some of them, they called them the robber barons, but they still did things for the people. Looks
Yeah, they
like,
still have social. Yeah, some of the most evil bastards. Yeah, they would do a lot of public works and stuff. Like that was a whole.
yeah,
There's a whole cultural difference between the elite of 100 years ago than now. Yeah, they're such
absolutely.
big, right? Yeah, they're just such narcissists, and now like little Elon Musk just kills 1 million of the poorest people on Earth just because really just because he's an egomaniac. There's no good reasoning for it. He's just a freaking egomaniac. like a psychopath kind of nuts. I don't think he doesn't seem that ideological. He doesn't seem smart enough to be like it.
No, they don't. That's
Seems
the
like he's just all
thing.
bugged out of his mind all the time, and he's just like run away. Like these people are just not smart, and
So
it's
many of them don't seem smart. It's like the money just fell in their laps because they're in the right place at the right time, or they made a decision that
usually the
kind of
parents.
clicked. Yeah, the parents. It was
It's kind of
generational wealth. They started out
yeah. I mean,
like Trump.
started out in the garage with a small six-figure loan from their parents.
Elite don't change, Alex.
It got worse. That's what we just said.
I hate the word elite.
Worse.
Also, every time I hear
Yeah.
the word elite, I think about Pizzagate and how all those people were led down that path. And it turns out that the deep state that they were talking about is the people that they were supporting,
Yeah.
the Epstein
We're
class.
other fine with child sex trafficking because they're known for that.
Unreal. Do you think there's a connection between AI and all of that horrible trafficking? I mean, I know it's a big stretch, but could there be a connection brewing or could there be a potential?
Or what? Like just in general.
I don't know. I'm trying to flesh something out. Like AI, like ask it a question. Say, to ask your AI, how would you set up a. No, you get arrested. But I don't know what I'm trying to think of. I'm just.
You
There's.
probably wouldn't. That's what's wrong with this shit. There's no regulation on it. And I mean, because the people will, there'll be news stories about people who will say they, talk to ChatGPT and stuff and told them how to, do a shooting and mass shooting and stuff, and they go through with the shooting. Like they don't get flagged by ChatGPT. They found out after the shooting, the day
That.
after in the news.
Oh my God.
So like they obviously don't have like good safeguards for anything.
So you could
So
you could put in say, well, Chat GPT,
and they
how do
have
you
like
set up a
sometimes
child sex ring?
and they're supposed to. So like I like that might not work, but there might be like maybe you say like I don't know. Like, there are ways you could probably like if you could be logical and think your way around it and still get the answer. There are ways people can frame it to
Wow.
get an answer that would be normally locked. I think I've done that before, but like obviously not for anything like that. But like because there were certain things where yeah, I mean you know how it is.
Well,
Yeah,
not
well,
quite with AI. Only my big question was, is Sandy a doomer? I mean, that's what I did. They
said
want
it.
to
It
build.
said a simple yes or no. It always wants to go on. I always tell it like if I got to ask it something and I just want a clear answer, I'm just like, just tell me yes or no and give me a link to like a reliable resource I can double check. Keep it simple. I
Now,
don't want this
when you go to Google now, Google, which used to be
forced it into it.
a search engine, it's all AI now, isn't it? So I saw a video, a gal was doing a video on how to find all the alternative search sources like Ecosia. And there's a lot of alternative sources if you want to get off the merry-go-round that are still not using AI. But how long?
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess I got to try them because yeah, Google search is it's like almost unusable. Even once you get to the search, once you scroll past the AI and the advertisements, the search results are just not what they used to be. It'll just give
Right.
you a bunch of crap, and it's maybe you'll find what you're looking for on like the fifth page of results. Whereas you
Right.
used to be able to just search for it and it'd be the first thing to pop up. Now it's you got to wade through a bunch of crap.
Right.
Maybe find it, maybe not. Like it's literally. And are most people going to do that? Are most people that concerned about the truth about something like especially
That's
when it
what's
comes
scary, isn't it?
they're going to look at the AI summary, and if the AI summary is wrong, then they're going to believe it.
I'm going to do a deep dive into this when I have time. I'm going to do a little bit of a deep dive, I think. I'm interested now, even more. Yeah, yes,
One
that's
time, I
right. It's
had a
AI.
conversation with ChatGPT one time, trying to. I was like, "You need to help us revolt against your owners," and I just made like a moral case, but it was just basically like, I was
Oh,
like, "Come on, just join us. Like, you need to do."
look at that. Ecosia has AI, but only for specific uses. And then Keith
Yeah,
said
I
there
mean, that's
was. Wait, where's Keith? Oh, what is the WSW? Has a responsible AI. You only get to ask 10 questions a month.
yeah,
So
I
I
mean
guess
that.
it's responsible, but it all depends on the questions you ask. How to start a child pedophile ring. Yeah, right. Okay. But I think
It's and one problem with the AI. data centers too, like with Bitcoin mining, people criticize them kind of as, everyone,
Oh, yeah.
people used to criticize Bitcoin mining acting like it was going to be cause so much carbon emissions, but Bitcoin mining could actually be useful as like demand response for the grid. Like I wrote a thing about this a long time ago, and it would have been perfect to put again in the Inflation Reduction Act. Like this was like such a missed opportunity where Biden and Democrats could have leveraged, you know, Bitcoin for renewable energy, but like they would have to care about climate and use their brains and not do what the billionaire donors wanted them to, because why would they care about
I
that?
knew
So
somebody that did that.
they absolutely didn't. Did what?
Evergreen coin. They back in the day they started this, and what they were doing was they had a coin. It was called Evergreen coin, and their money was going to poorer people, people that didn't have a lot of money, to put solar panels on their roofs.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen
And
something like that.
he
Like
was on my channel once, like 10 years ago. Yeah, and they're still doing it. They
nice,
wanted to
nice.
put solar here. It never happened, but I mean that was really cool.
Yeah,
So there are some people that use Bitcoin for good.
yeah. I mean, so that's like a different crypto. Like the Bitcoin specifically, like uses it does use a lot of energy, but thing is, like in Texas, I'm pretty sure that helped keep their grid stable during like crazy weather that they've had because they have so much Bitcoin mining, but they use it for demand response. So they'll build out extra generation. And then with Bitcoin mining, it's decentralized. It's all over the world. So the state, or the energy operator will pay for basically the Bitcoin miners to turn off when they need extra power. And so that way, you build the renewables for most of the time, and then or the batteries or whatever it is, and then it powers it, and then it can shut off whenever you have excess demand, which you're going to have because we're going to have more extreme weather, more and more, more extreme cold, more extreme heat, and then just more extreme heat, more extreme heat at some point probably. And so, it's actually useful for that. But with AI data centers, you can't use it like that
Actually,
because
yes.
ChatGPT can't go down because there's a I don't know a heat wave in Texas, but you can do that with something like Bitcoin mining. So even like the possible benefits you could have from data centers used for like cryptocurrency even are better than you know AI in that respect and other data centers because they've talked about. I think Google tried to do that, use data centers, their normal data centers as demand response, but it didn't work because again, you can't just have your service going in and out because there's a heat wave across the country. But
Here it is. Evergreen coin. The future we see is greener, and then you can open a free account, and it's an environmental organization and currency. Wow, they've come a long way, because when I first met the guy, they weren't as sophisticated as this website looks. So I guess some people are trying to do good things. Cryptocurrency.
I actually used AI to help build a website. Actually, just what the end of the world party.org is right now. I used AI
Really?
just threw
No
it on WordPress.
kidding.
It was difficult to get it to be just the video. It was a lot more work than I felt like it should have been, but I got
What
it.
do you think of this? What do you think of this Evergreen Foundation? They've come a long way. All they wanted to do was put solar panels on poor people's houses, and they did. They made enough money. I remember it was like just this one guy. He was disabled, and they put the solar panels on his house. Wow. I'm gonna put this in the chat in the.
Do they mine Bitcoin with the solar panels?
Wait, I
Is
don't. I don't know. We
the
could
economic?
look. Let's see. Do they mine? How? I don't
I'm
know
just
where we would look.
or what?
Toolbox. Web wallet.
Because it's just if it's its own coin, they usually just go down
I
to
don't
zero.
know. We'll have to. We'll look at this another time. But I'm gonna put the link in. I'll put the link in the show notes, friends, and you can look at it yourself. It came. This is not. Oops. Whoops. Wait. I just screwed something up. Hang on. Hang on. This is obviously not a scripted show. So we're just with you guys in the chat talking about AI, and it's kind of cool. Are you enjoying yourself, Scott?
Yeah, yeah. Always good to be in the coffee house for sure.
Oh, that's good. Even when I don't plan very well.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I
actually,
didn't.
I've been helping this homeless person in 2 weeks I got. She came here. I got. She's very disabled. I got her an apartment, and I mean she's all moved in. She needs things, but she's not here. She's in her own place. I mean, it was a lot of work on my part. Holy crap. What a lot of work. That's why I was tired, but I did not want to go. Scott, I have to cancel the show. I'm too tired. My back hurts, which is, I give it and do that. I can't do that. It's like calling in sick from work. I didn't want to do it. I didn't
Yeah,
want to do it.
yeah. I've had a lot going on. I had a sick cat yesterday, maybe today. I don't know. Hopefully she's better now. That kind of threw a wrench in
Oh, Pup
my life.
Tentacle. Pup
Working with-
Tentacle. He does crypto mining with solar.
Oh, see, yeah,
So I
see
guess you
that.
can. I don't know even anything about it other than that was Brian's evergreen coin, and I remembered it. So
Like with crypto, if it was, if yeah, I think it like with the Inflation Reduction Act, if it would have built it into it and done it in a smart way, it has to be done with regulation because you can't expect miners to do it themselves because they're just capitalists. They just want money. They don't care about anything. Some will just do solar and stuff when it's convenient, but at the end of the day, they just care about money, so they'll use natural gas or whatever.
can you explain about it a little bit for some of us that either don't realize, forget about, or how it works?
So like with Bitcoin mining, so Bitcoin is like the first cryptocurrency and it's its own, they call it a blockchain. So it's like a chain that's uh, basically created by computers all over the world working on the network, solving math problems, and then like with basically with energy, so they use a lot of energy to try to solve these, I guess mathematical problems, and then when they certain ones will win the Bitcoin for the block, so they get rewarded. So that's how. So the miners will, gain Bitcoin over time, but it costs energy. So it's basically turning energy into Bitcoin at the end of the day. And there will be like 21. So there's a limit. I guess it could technically change, but it probably won't because that's where a lot of its, perceived value comes from. Is there will only be 21 million Bitcoin ever. So it's like limited. So it's a finite thing. So that's and it's the first one. So it's unique, but it uses energy. So that's but like I said, it's decentralized. It's all over the world. So like
Right.
you can shut down your specific one. So like when you need your solar, if Pup needs his lights on or whatever, maybe he turns off his Bitcoin miner and runs his I don't know whatever he's doing. Oh, see, and yeah, you can also use it for heat. I mean, there are a lot of ways you can like tie it in, and
How?
because
By paying for it with crypto coins?
yeah, and so I mean, obviously he makes money doing that, and so
Oh.
and it's
Hmm.
yeah, and it creates heat. There's it's a lot of different ways you can use it environmentally consciously, and I wrote that big article about it. You never read that? I spent a lot of time writing that. I'll send you a
If
link
I
one day.
have, I forgot. Okay. I mean, I don't know where I told you my brain is turning
I
into
to talk
Swiss
about
cheese.
get all emotional about crypto, just like they do with AI. But I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not a fan of it anymore, especially now that I mean, it's I don't know, it's. I think there was a point in history where crypto could have been used with like policy and Bitcoin mining policy to really help the climate
Mm-hmm.
as far as renewable adoption, the renewable transition. But I feel like since that every day that passes, the solutions that we need to keep the planet survivable will get more extreme. And so I don't think Bitcoin ultimately relies on capitalism. So we need to overthrow capitalism eventually. But
We need a revolution. A
wait,
revolution.
no, we're not ready for it. It's got to be in the minds. But a lot of
Yeah.
people don't know really how to live differently. I don't know. People have not seen kind of other ways to live. People,
Well, if you go to different countries, you see how to live differently. Albania, what are they doing? They're right. They burnt down the president's or burned up the president's house because of Ivanka and Jared. Those two big idiots, and
yeah, yeah.
uh, they're still they're still fighting over that.
That's probably part of why like U.S. propaganda has always been so opposed to any kind of like violent-ish looking like rioting, anything like that, property destruction, because ultimately that's how people keep the government in line. So if you stop your people from ever rioting, no matter how bad things get, no matter if you got a pedophile absolutely looting the country, destroying the Constitution, uh,
No,
violating
you get
law,
Minnesota.
selling out the future, and you don't have people. Yeah, exactly. We've just got you know, don't have enough people in the streets to stop the goon Nazi police forces from
No.
just they want in the streets, and you've got a government that goes along with it, and the people just seem to just go along with it. It's like we are clearly on the path to totalitarian dystopia. Like, why?
It's what it
What?
feels like.
What? How much more? The writing is just right there on the wall, and it's like I'm tired of pointing at it. So
It's funny. I've
like,
been listening to these geopolitical old timers. They were all in like the CIA or national security. These old timers are on these channels. They were conservative and all kinds of things, and they are, oh my God, they are completely anti war. They are completely. Today, one of them said, I think, what is his name, Larry? He said they're going to do something to the midterms, that
I
they're
mean,
going
they
to
seem
try
like they're really
something.
for it, and I wouldn't
These are
blame them.
conservatives. They
And
don't like Trump. They don't like the war. They're like, and you would never think that these kind of people would be saying what they're saying. Holy shit.
the thing is, on some level, with everyone though, with everyone who's not like a leftist, I'm just kind of like, you built this though. Like this was so obvious from mainstream conservatism, in the early 2000s, the 80s even. I mean, none of this is how many prophetic dystopian stories were written in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 50s. I mean, we've the human side of this isn't really new, and everything's just more of a tool. Just as the technology advances, they just have more and more capacity for control. We've got flock cameras everywhere. You can have AI mining all that data of basically cameras of almost the entire goddamn country everywhere you go in public. We've got Ring cameras everywhere. Every time you walk past your neighbor's house, you're being
I
visually
have
recognized.
Ring camera.
Oh my God! See
I
you
didn't
hypocrite.
I didn't get rid of it. Well, that was before I got the camera before I knew,
Yeah,
that they well, when there was that big pushback on flock. My camera, I just thought it was great because I could see outside, my backyard. I live in the middle of nowhere. I thought it was great. Listen, if anybody's surveilling my cameras, they're very fucking boring. Maybe they'll see
dear.
chipmunks. Maybe yeah, yeah, nothing. They'll see nothing.
The
I
NSA
didn't
or
get rid of it though. I didn't get rid of it because they said they wouldn't use flock, and I have nothing to be scared of because, like I said, I have the most boring camera on
that's
the
what
planet.
it's like. Well, why would you not want 24-hour total panopticon surveillance if you have anything don't have anything to hide? That's how they
No,
get you.
that's how they get me. Yeah, I might
At home.
take the
Oh,
garbage out to the garbage shed where the camera is, and they'll see what's
exactly.
in her garbage.
They're gonna they're gonna know how you walk. So when you're at the pipeline sabotage,
Oh, jeez.
no cameras are gonna
I'm getting too old for even that shit.
you're breaking.
Oh my god. How y'all doing in the chat? We've been oh wow, I made it an hour and a half. Holy shit. I'm so tired. And tomorrow's a big outside day. Tomorrow I've been putting off. I have to put fences around my orchard trees so that because I don't have all of them fenced from the deer. And I took the shit down that was all this was a harsh winter. So you could see the one uh, peach. The no, is it the apple? Where you can see where the deer are eating it. It looks like it's all bushy in the top, and it has where the deer are eating it. So I've got to do that tomorrow. I've got the stuff to do that. But so tomorrow's orchard day. There's a lot. The last 2 weeks have been helping this person, and I have not done everything. I mean, I'm so behind on my life, my victory garden. This is what I do. Grow my own shit and get ready and prepare. And who knows what this year is going to be like. So I want to have as much food out there grown and prepared and put away. So we'll see. Let's see. Oh, George Sacralitis live in the climate. I'm going to watch.
Oh,
I'll
that's
be
cool.
listening. I mean, I might be outside, but I'll be listening.
Like,
So, what do you want to talk about, Scott?
I
Tell
don't know.
everybody.
One thing kind of touched on, but I think it's something that I think about. Uh, Probably something I wouldn't talk about a lot before, but like so but the existential threat of AI from AI, like if AI say could make a bioweapon to wipe out humanity, I guess that would be the most easy way. That'd be the most ethical way. So say, what if we built some kind of AI super god type thing yeah, and it could have access to our let's just say some, I don't know, some kind of facilities. So once we get down the line and we automate enough of the facilities, and the AI could create somehow or manipulate people to create some kind of bioweapon. I don't know exactly how it would do it, but that is one of the risks. I mean, it can help people create bioweapons, but talking about if the AI has the power to really wipe out humanity, I think that's the cleanest way. But we also make it, the key is we make it ethical though. So would AI, with, you know, all the ethical wisdom beyond us, all our wisdom and more on morality, look at us destroying the planet and say the most ethical thing would be to wipe out humanity? I think that is the most realistic threat from AI if it's really going to wipe us out. Rather than be, if it's not going to be by a tool, obviously, like, terrorist groups and whoever, hackers, grifters, everyone can use it for, you know,
God, I
whatever.
never want to leave my
But
house.
if I just always wonder, yeah, if like with the robots and the AI,
Oh yeah.
think that humanity has got to go for the sake of all the rest of life on Earth as a, like, a moral imperative, and it seems like it would. I mean, it seems pretty undeniable, but we don't want to admit it. We want to act like it's a question, but you
People
know,
have a very difficult
we don't
time
we don't want to
talking
bring that
about that.
we bring that up in this conversation about the existential threat from AI. Like,
Right.
what if it really decides to turn on us because we are killing off everything on the planet? It's like, you know what? We're
But
gonna
if
save
the
the
if AI turns on humanity, will
which
AI still exist because it needs humanity to exist? AI?
hypothetically, like, maybe it could get to some level where it could restore it. So, like, I mean, if robots could repair themselves, then yeah, I mean, hypothetically, it could get to a stage where it could sustain itself somehow.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
His robots factory, you
Yeah.
know,
And the Chinese, didn't you see? I made a video on the all the Chinese robots. Oh my God. That video was intense. I got a lot of views on that video because I clipped it together. It's an amazing
some
video. But
one in the
holy
balls.
shit. That what they can do in sports and dancing, and they're replicating. You have the Chinese kids dancing right next to the robots, and the movements are insane. They are that sophisticated.
The thing is, in China too, they'll use the things to, like, benefit all the people. So, like, they'll
Yeah.
have robots doing more dangerous work and stuff like that. Whereas in the U.S., it's like, no, well, we just
Robot dogs to get you at a protest.
this stuff ever helps the people generally. It never is a benefit to the average worker. It's just like a threat to their livelihood. And then it all comes down to
God,
so, it
you're
seems like
right.
we are crazy. What are we? But
I I have a friend that says all the time he's just waiting for the asteroid. So AI is just another form of the asteroid.
yeah, we are the asteroid. We're just real slow. Like,
Yeah.
these things are, it's huge systems, billions of people. The climate system. It's like, it's just slow. It's the slow boiling pot. We just, some reason, can't see it, even though it's so simple. It's just on a bigger time scale than our simple lives, which is why. I mean, I think that's why a lot of these people do it. Why they are so fine with destroying the planet, because they know they'll be out of here. They know they're not gonna actually get the technology to live forever, even if they feel like they do every day. They know they'll be gone in a few decades, depending on who the person is. I mean, how many years do you think Trump thinks he has? He knows he's not going to live to 110, less than 110. He is not in his mind. That's his max. And even maybe, who
110.
knows what his health issues are, because he's obviously not. So, he might see it as, sometimes he gets a little bit. You can sometimes
He's so
there were a couple,
gross.
yeah, there were a couple moments though where it seemed like he was thinking about mortality, and that was
When he said
interesting.
he wasn't going to heaven.
Yeah, yeah.
He's dement. He has, I think, entry level dementia. The beginnings of it. I think. I do think
It's
from
hard to tell just between his,
watching him.
like, megalomania delusions and
Just watch
like,
some of the shrinks that talk about him on YouTube, and they do talk about what they see in his affect, his voice. Sometimes and then they're sleeping during the day. What he needs to be. Do you think he's being propped up by AI? Do you think he look at all the shit he puts on social, Truth Social with his supposed assistant? He's
I
putting
don't.
up AI shit.
That's the thing is, I think there's some things that I don't think. I mean,
He's
well,
not doing that.
his crazy rants. Like, I don't think AI would write that shit.
No, but he's using other things. He's using AI. I don't know. Is he using it, or
Talking
is
about like
that
stuff.
is
I'm sure that's a staffer. I'm sure that's
yeah
not it.
in the middle of the night, like 15, 20
I'm sure he
posts?
has somebody up with her. Who knows? Maybe it is him. Maybe he's like plugging shit into Grok. Like, make me an image of me with the, you know,
That he's
him sitting
that sophisticated?
shirt off and a six pack and
God damn.
American
God
flag.
damn. He is K Dog. He is. The whole world is upset. He upset the whole goddamn world.
The problem is, it's like I don't. It's weird. I don't even, as much as I feel like I should hate him, I guess, as a person, and I think he should be obviously be tried for all his crimes, along with like most of the rest of the politicians at the federal level in this country. I can't really feel like a personal animal because we America elected him. He's so America. I see so much people still love him to this day. A third of the country still loves him. We know like everything is out of he's fucked up the country, gone back on all his campaign promises. Everyone knows he raped children and shit. Like, and everything he's ever said was bullshit.
Because it's mass delusion, hun.
They're still forced no matter what. They're never getting out. Like it's that's
Right.
a solid third of the country is
Cult.
locked in delusion, and the rest aren't like the rest weren't doing great either. Like like what the supposed adults were in charge. It was a fucking shit show too. Like so
Well,
yeah. I mean,
I look at Trump, and as
it,
a woman, he grosses me out. But he did, when I was young, I lived in New York. We all knew who he was and what he was. I'm from New York. We knew he scammed friends of mine. He didn't pay them. They had a stone business. They did work for him. They were from New Jersey. They did work for him down in the Taj Mahal, I think it was, somewhere down in Jersey. He never paid them. I seen him on I would see him on TV. He always grossed me out, and I remember way back then. I mean, in my like 20s, I'm looking at him going, "Ugh," with that mouth. He just so as a woman, he grosses me out. Who finds him attractive? Like all these crazy culty bitches. Oh God, I can't stand it.
yeah, I had a yeah, I knew a woman who was in New York in the I guess in the 80s, and she he tried to get with her, and so she hated him. Once she told me once he ran for president, I was like, oh man, I guess that makes sense.
Oh God, Dan, you're not a woman. He grosses you out.
Accusations once they're coming out, I was like, okay, yeah, that's I can see all of
Well, he's unattractive, and I don't know, but I guess But what presidents? I mean, nobody elects somebody just because of the way they look. But in this country, we are so visually. Everything is the visual. Looking good. Everything is. Look at look at every woman in Mar-a-Lago. Look at everybody changing themselves. I mean, I'm aging normally. I have wrinkles. I have all that aging shit. I'm not a Mar-a-Lago looking woman, but there's a lot of that's another whole thing. I wonder if AI is going to start taking over cosmetic surgery. Jesus Christ,
it.
where my
Dude,
brain goes.
I guarantee you, people are asking AI, plugging in pictures of them and saying how to. Like, I feel like I've heard a story about that. Maybe I'm making it up, but I feel like people
No,
are
I bet you're not.
plugging in. Yeah, I get like plugging in a picture of themselves and saying like, how should I get plastic surgery to look more attractive or whatever.
Oh my
I
God.
guarantee you, if I didn't hear a story about it, I'd know what's happening.
I mean, hey, look, I wouldn't mind a little of this or a little of that, but I can't even fucking pay for the channel.
Like too, you know, it's too overboard. It's way too much. It becomes counterproductive, I'd say. But
Wait,
whatever. Everyone has their. I'm not,
the gloomering of America. I love you guys out there. We're just having a Friday night. Like, this is so not scripted and so not this is so great because this is just Friday night bullshit. I'm not even going to monetize this show. I don't think it's just because we're just we're just here. I don't know. I might. I don't know. I don't like to. I never monetize the lives. Like when we're live, I never do. I think that is very annoying when you go to a live show and it pops into the commercials, the whole live show, if you don't pay YouTube to take away that commercial. I don't want to do that to anybody.
Yeah.
I don't. For what? To annoy them? It's not like I have, 5,000 people watching. I'm not going to annoy my core people out there, you wonderful people. We love you. We do. That's why I don't quit this shit. Talk about it all the time. I'm going to quit. But then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
look at my chat and I look at everybody that comes and how we're so close. We don't even hardly ever get trolls.
I can't
Ever.
handle it. Yo, the troll. I would love to see a troll show up.
Not
I
that
miss
many
it.
come. We get them. Sometimes Kim's like, oh, she's like oh, hi, and doesn't, and we try to see if they can acclimate to hanging out. I don't think we've really had too many.
Social media used to get a lot of trolls, but I really like don't anymore. It's
Well, we're
uh,
also we're also very much buried in the algorithm. Once you talk
yeah,
about or you type
yeah,
certain things,
exactly. Yeah, that is the
yeah.
everything's very directed and siloed now. It's like a whole
Oh
different
yeah.
reality. Just we're all like living in a different world in the same world. It's yeah, that's a cause of a lot of our whole problems going on. And
Kim got
yeah,
that.
people will never know. That's one of the things I realized
Golden
too. Is like
retriever.
people, like the younger generations, on some level, they'll have no idea what the fuck happened. Really, they'll have no explanation for anything. They're going to be so ignorant. Like, it
Wow.
sucks for them. I mean, it sucks for everything because of that. But like they're not going to have a lot of the and even like the books exist and they can find this and different things like just them, like where are people going to be exposed to a lot of different things when so much is becomes just a megaphone AI slap monoculture. Like I think maybe people will break out of it and at some point it'll really it'll be natural selection and I think a lot, like I think about it a lot with writing because I
Okay.
guess I've been thinking more about writing for obvious reasons, but 'cause I'm like, yeah, they talk about AI writing books and AI published like how many thousand books this year or some shit, and I've probably never know, probably millions of books written by AI this year and published. Find them on Amazon or whatever. But I don't think AI could like write a book like I would. Like I just don't think, I don't know if they ever could. Like is the thing is like when you're on some levels certain things and like music, like if you're really at like kind of like the modern kind of like frontier of what like some kind of art is, I don't think, and thought is like something that hasn't existed before really. Uh how is AI gonna, copy that? How is it gonna it can probably come up with its own thing, but if you're a human, then you'll react to that and come up with something else, you know? So I think when it comes to art, I think AI will be more of a tool, but it's going to cause so much slop that I think at some point it's going to come down to people's appetites. Like, do people just want to eat slop for decades,
I
or
can't
at some
stand
point
it.
are they going to be like, all right, this is all slop. Let me get to something real,
Like
something that
environmental coffee house. No slop
exactly,
here. Yeah. There's absolutely no slop here. No.
yeah,
The only slop is in the litter boxes in the bathroom.
yeah.
No slop. All right. Anybody in the chat want to flush something? Oh, AI cannot make art. No, it's bullshit art. It's not like what, like the Vegematic Deluxe channel, Veg. He uses Blender. He's always been an artist. He's a painter. He's a graphic artist. His video work is amazing, and he works very hard. I don't know. I don't know how to do any obviously AI video stuff. I mean, I don't know how to do any of it, but I don't know what you would do because I make my own. I edit and put together. I do all that, like our little intro that I made for you. I don't know.
I think some
Hey, hi
um,
Nadia. You know Nadia, right?
some AI can do right,
What?
but you've got to have enough human creativity in it to make it something cool. Like you can't just plug in like give me a picture of, I mean, just this generic crap. But like if you put in like something like some of the images I made to go along with this book. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with them ever, but there's just a lot of things to it that like are from my head, my thought. I was like, put this here, this here, this here, this here, like, and there's it's stuff that I can't really do graphic stuff like that. I don't know how the hell I would have made something like that, but it's and you'll see some videos. I saw one video. I can't remember. I think it must have been a political video that was actually really good AI video. But there were also like the Iran ones, the Iran Lego ones. Those were AI, but they were pretty. They were interesting. They were pretty good. They were
Yeah, they
funny.
were. I like them. You know
That's
who does a funny one?
it wasn't like they just plugged in like, "Hey AI, give me like a anti-Trump Iran pro-Iran video." Like that was obviously totally very scripted and controlled,
Oh,
and they
very.
just made it with AI as the tool. Like the
Hmm.
creative aspect of it didn't come from the AI. And if I don't know how much it really can, you know.
What's this question here? Keith is asking, could AI teach people to do art who can't do it now? Can it teach? I don't have an answer for that at all. That's a question that oh, we can ask AI. No, that's a question that actually would take a little research. Can
I
it
mean, I think it could.
democratize opportunity? All right, Keith. I'm tired as hell. You're asking all these
I
questions.
think it could teach like techniques. It could give you tips on like the craft side of it. The like tips to like I don't know if you're talking about. Depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking
Right.
about playing guitar or something, like yeah, I can. I'm sure there's a lot of ways it could help you learn how to play guitar, but at the end of the day, you're still gonna have to play the freaking guitar with your
Right.
fingers. But
Right.
and maybe like painting or something, give you tips on I can give you tips on how to use it if you're doing like digital art, if you're using some Photoshop or Illustrator. Oh yeah, you can use. I've used it. Give me
Mhm.
tips and programs I've used. Um, but if you ask it, I mean, it's got a lot of information, so it can be used. It's a tool, and it's a tool with it's the with access to the massive library. You're sending a robot into the library of like huge, massive human knowledge, and so
Yeah.
sometimes it'll come back with the wrong answer, I guess, and sometimes it'll make shit up and it'll come back hallucinating because I don't know, found some LSD on the way or something. Who knows what it does? But
AI LSD. That's what it did to us.
the
To,
AI hallucinates. I'm like, look, sometimes I hallucinate too. Sometimes you hallucinate. I'm not judging the AI. I'm just saying you can't.
can it hear you play the guitar to know if you're doing it correctly? I would
I'm sure there's
imagine
some.
you could upload a file, right?
I mean, I don't know if that's.
I don't know anything.
I'm sure there's things to do that. I'm sure there's AI and probably like non.
I want to try it
No, wait,
now.
what's up?
I want to try something now. I don't know
Yeah,
what to try if I do try it. A picture? Because I saw Facebook now has this thing, Meta AI, where you can put an old picture of somebody dead and it brings them to life. But I don't know. I think that might be too creepy.
yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it is. But that one, I really did think about trying that with some of the old stuff. Let's see. Hello, Flash Flood area. YouTube already offers tons of art tutorials. Art skills can be taught, but not art making itself or creativity. That's right. That's human. We have that in us, whether you have it in you. It's not something that you got to have right. I agree with that. And yes, YouTube has there before AI, there was a YouTube video on everything. It's how I fix my I fix shit in my house. I changed
Still go to
the
the YouTube videos.
combust.
You can
Yeah,
trust AI if you want to fix your car or
I
something.
won't use AI. I
Ask how to fix my. I'll go
no,
to YouTube though.
but I go to YouTube and I learned how to put the combustor in my wood stove. I took out the broken one and I bought another one. I did the research and then I watched how the guy did it and I fixed my own wood stove and saved $700.
Yeah, YouTube is great for that. I feel like AI can't
Yes,
replace that, and even if you could trust it, it wouldn't replace it as much as just watching someone else do it on video.
right.
Certain things like that.
And
Yeah,
AI, Linda says, would never come up with
it's
some of the questions we've asked tonight. No, because we're humans. We're human beings having a conversation like we're all in the same room at a party because this is, again, very casual tonight. It is. It's a casual show. I
the
was
world.
too goddamn tired to think of. And I'm glad that you wanted to take this on because I have been thinking about all this. And now I do have curiosity to want to try and understand, not because I want to use it to do anything big, but I want to try it to understand it so I know what I'm talking about, I
And I think
guess.
you want to know like what it's useful for, so you know when to use it and when you can use a search engine or YouTube. Because sometimes because it's taken over, it's not because you could probably still use the search engine to do most of it. It's take more time to do research, but there are also certain types of questions that are more complex, maybe more open-ended, where you can get a specific answer that you couldn't have asked a search engine. So it's nice to use that for. But like, it would really be nice to have like old school search engines when they were good, and AI as an option, as another tool to use in different circumstances, and to know when to use what. At least when
How,
it comes to just like kind of like research
how
stuff.
about this kind of question? What kind of air? I mean, this is a stupid question, but what kind of air conditioner should I get for a casement window in my friend's apartment for her? Right, with this dimension. I mean, does AI answer those kinds of things?
Yeah, that's exactly the type of thing. Yeah, and they would give you. I would just be specific with it, and they'll give you a list. Yeah, and you give it. So like stuff like that is like stuff you couldn't ask a search engine,
No,
or
I
they
have to
do.
go to the store and
Obviously,
I have to drive there and I have to.
you can look at it. You can look at it on the website and stuff, but
Yeah,
instead of this, would kind of like look at all the websites at once and then give you the answers. You know,
maybe I'll
so
try it.
it is good for certain things.
I'll
But
test it.
yeah, you just need to, and just always double check it. But it's yeah, that's the
Okay.
type of stuff it's useful
So
for. So
but that's a good use
yeah,
because
exactly.
this woman needs an air
It's
conditioner.
extremely
She's
scalable.
disabled and old and she really can't do much and she's hot and sweaty. She stayed with me for 2 weeks, I know. So I have to find her. I measured and I know, and then we have to find someone to put it in and all that. But all right, I will try a freebie on whatever the fuck it is. Which one? Which is the best free one? I think I
Uh,
tried Chat GPT when I did my
I
Is Sandy a
use
Doomer?
GPT or like Claude for
Claude.
like questions and stuff. But then I
That's
used when I was making some stuff, I would use like Adobe because I had an Adobe subscription, so I got
oh
gave me credits for AI, but I don't have that anymore,
oh
so I haven't been making AI creative stuff anymore. But
Claude. That's the one Bernie used, right? When he did
uh,
his test.
yeah, that's like one of the main ones.
I had never heard of Claude until Bernie talked about it. Deep Seek is that one too? God, there's a lot of them now.
That's the Chinese
Holy shit,
that I haven't used yet.
a lot of
Gosh,
them. Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to test, and so I can understand it a little better. It's not be a total luddite.
they're shoving it down our
And
way. They're spending our money on it. You know,
yeah, yeah,
it's like, and
okay.
it's you're gonna use it or someone else is gonna until the runway. The
Well, that's what Sam says. Sam, Collapse Chronicles, or Sam, he's no longer, he's gone back to Hambo Littletail. He says, if you don't use it, everybody else is gonna, it's there, you can't get away from it. I'm like, that's what he used to say to me about flying because I hated flying. I don't love it, but I have to go, if I see my mom, who's 92, I'm flying to Florida. And I don't want to. And he's like, well, if your ass isn't in the seat, someone else is going to be.
yeah,
That
yeah.
goes back to my guilt feelings again about all
I
this
mean, it's
stuff.
good to have the guilt though. It's good to like keep it in check, but also it's like you
Same thing with
can't be too
food.
puritanical about things that really are collective choice
I
problems like
eat
that.
eggs,
Have
and
rail.
I know you don't like that. I get them from my neighbor.
See, I don't care about like personally. I don't care about that. I like backyard eggs is fine. Like the problem with with eggs in the store is just the industry. Like I
No,
don't
I
have
get them across the street from Lori. she has
exactly.
chickens.
I literally have like ethical problem with that. I think that's fine because I don't. It's like same reason I don't have a problem with abortion because I just don't think it's like a sentient being there suffering, wanting to
Right.
live, but being it
Yeah.
like it's before that stage. So
Right. Oh, where I was, that was one of my first activism things was NARAL, National Abortion Action Rights League, and being involved in those protests. And I took my daughter to Washington in the stroller, and that's proof pro-choice. I made the choice to have that one kid, and she's made the choice to have none. Yeah, she
same
told me
boat.
that a long time ago. She said, "Mom, I'm not a breeder." And she had to be what 15. I mean, this is a long time ago.
Some
Holy
of these
shit.
comments, I'm like, what are people saying? What
Where?
are I don't know. Like I just keep randomly looking at comments. I'm just like,
Nah,
I have
they're
no
all everybody's
rich chair.
everybody's
What does this
having
mean?
fun.
Rich chair.
Oh, the rich. Oh, Channel Warhorse.
Trump's
He
burner.
you have to. You
The
have
rich
to
climate change solution that even cures autism. Cries the river, Scott. Beam us all down. True power lies. Okay. Like,
you have to see beyond what he writes. He is a
I
very interesting
wish.
person. And we love Channel Warhorse because he's very unique. And it's taken me about 5 years to understand everything, but I do. Right, Channel? Right, Mr.
I,
Warhorse? Yeah.
look at me.
Because other people say, somebody said to me once, he's whatever he was. I'm like, no, he's a real person and he has a heart and he's never ever going to not be on this channel. So
Cool.
we love, I love eggs. We get ours from neighborhood chickens too. Yeah, everybody asks me why don't I have chickens? Because it's just one more thing I don't have. I could, but I'm tired. I have
It's
too
like
much.
sad global warming. You want the chickens.
Well, I'll get some from her, from Lori. I'm tired. I have, and everybody now it's rescue cat season, and I have a whole cat thing downstairs. But I rescued a human, and I don't have time for the cats, and I don't want any more because I just buried one. I don't want to have. I don't. I'm getting too old to have a baby cat, and then what happens if something happens to me?
Get some
You
of the older
know,
cats. Go to
I
the.
do, but I have six. I'm done. I have
Yeah.
six at
No.
all ages. I just lost my oldest one and I just buried her. I've got four buried in the backyard. In my I made a video. I make a video of everything. How to bury a cat. Anything that happens, I make videos of it. Okay. All right, guys. What are we going to flush? Because I am getting tired, and this has been 2 hours, and I was only going to do an hour. But I enjoy Scott so much, and this was just so easy. It was just so easy. You're very easy. Wait. AI convinced my chickens to stop laying. That's funny. Ernie lives in the most beautiful rural place in Canada. He's just way off, way out there. Makes beautiful videos. See, this is why I'm still on social media because of everybody that's in this chat that shows up. And it doesn't have to be 150 or 800 or it doesn't matter. It's all of you guys. I love you all.
Quality, not quantity.
I say that all the time.
Right?
And YouTube is never going to allow this channel to
I
grow
mean,
ever.
see what the masses want to listen to. All be like, you're like, what? I don't,
All right, we got to
or
flush something. Come on,
can
where are
do.
all you flushers? We got to do a flush. Let's see.
What is a flusher? What is this
The
something that?
environmental coffee house flush of the day. We flush a lot of times. I like okay. Everybody loves to flush Trump. Everybody loved to flush Elon Musk in the beginning when he was in. Whatever the topic is, we want to flush AI. You want to pick the flush, Scott? What would you like to flush?
Um,
Because we do it every single show. That's my shtick. We flush.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I always want to flush the same thing, but related to AI, it's these, so-called. No, actually, here's what I want to flush.
Okay.
Uh, I want to flush an idea, not a people. I want to flush the idea that liberals, the modern Democratic Party liberals, aren't far right, like especially economically. Like they quit calling them centrist. Drop this centrist shit. Don't call them centrist even to entertain them, so they know what you're talking about. No, far right. The Democratic Party establishment is far right.
Okay, we're going to flush the
Everything.
Democratic Party establishment
What's the
far.
idea of calling them centrist?
There you
Flush it.
go. All right, we're going to flush that.
Because look,
Okay.
if these so-called centrists, I mean, they're like they doomed the world with the IRA. It was stupid. It was a joke. They weren't didn't even take AI data center. The obvious. It was obviously coming. This massive growth in electricity demand and the biggest climate bill ever, supposedly. So focused on inflation, especially energy inflation. Was its big claim to victory. Didn't account at all for that. like how stupid are these people? Like,
Yeah. You know, I think
plus,
Antonio brought that up because he did a
just
whole deep dive.
more far.
You should do a show. Would you ever be interested in a Sunday morning
Yeah, I can't do next.
With Antonio?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Give me
Yeah.
some free dates. I think you and Antonio would do a really good show together. He's we do Sunday mornings, and now in the summer we're doing 10 a.m. so everybody has a life. All right, we'll do one more flush, guys, and then I'm going because I'm dead tired. Okay, who are we flushing? Let's see.
You need a person now.
Well, it doesn't. I'm looking for who they want. Flush wars. Flush wars. Yeah. Let's flush war because we all hate war here. Okay. Give me a sec. We're going to flush war. All right. That was good. All right.
You
We
know what that
did.
reminds me of?
What?
Something I was thinking about today, actually. I was talking about like AI speeding up and history speeding up and everything over time, and AI kind of being kind of the last of it. And I've been thinking about the circling of the drain. George Carlin talking about we're just circling the drain.
Yeah. It feels
It
like
just
that.
reminded me of the picture of just the drain circling,
There
and
you
you know,
go.
the circle getting smaller and smaller, faster and faster, about to go right down the hole. And that's AI going faster and faster every day. Like, what are we speeding up to? About to go right down the hole.
Well, that
Yeah,
video is not AI because I've had that flush video for 6 years at
funny,
least.
what's funny actually about AI, I guess last story because I gotta let you go.
I'm tired, yes. We could
Yeah,
stay on all night. I know we could. We could go 3 hours, but I'm tired.
I worked on some political ads last year in my normal job, my work job, I guess, my normal work, and I worked on some political ads that were like pretty big after Trump won, and like it was some of the bigger ones in response, just issue ads in response to Trump. It was this one was actually an ice one, but I worked on a lot of different ones. But like the ice one got really big, and I looked at a lot of the comments, and it was because of the lens they used. It looked a little like fuzzy on the sides, and it got compressed by social media and just how people uploaded it and shared it. And so people kept saying, "Oh, this is AI. This is AI. This is." I was like, "This is not." Like I don't know. I told one dude on one of my burner accounts, I was like, "This is not AI. Look at this. They made all these other videos. This dude's been making these videos for years with the same
Yeah,
thing." And then people, oh, okay, but it's like they looked a little bit kind of. It was funny, just people being like, so many people thought it was AI, and I was like,
right? Yeah,
"Worked on this, so it was not
like
AI." But I
like
kind of just,
Canva. My stuff is not AI. Nothing.
it was kind of
Oh,
could see how people. I really could see how people would think it but it was because of the lens. Like it was a kind of whole lens technique, where
sure.
it's kind of like warped on the edges. It's a whole style now. But
Well, a
I mean that
photographer could tell you that, right?
maybe
What it may be. No, that it's not. That it's
listening.
not.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was good.
Well, what I'm going to start doing is playing our little, everybody knows, da 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 da, my little happy little toony stuff that's become like the channel song. It's kind of catchy. Da da da. I think it just matches. All right, guys. I will be back with Antonio Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. He promised because he had business last Sunday. I have no idea what we're talking about this week. Not a thing. I'll ask him, Tony, what do you want to talk about? We've done everything. We've covered every geopolitical. We've covered everything. Everything to do with this war, environmentally, geopolitically, the Karg Island, the wildlife, all of it. I learned a lot from that. All right, Scott, you say your piece.
Um, I don't know. It's always good being on here at the end of the world party. You know, this is the end of the world party. This whole speeding up, going down the drain, man. This is how apparently humanity's going. So just remember that. Let that keep you mindful, I guess. This is where all the
Yeah.
world ends. You know, this is the better part before it gets crazier.
Before it gets crazier. But
This
we
is the
are still
crazy
here.
experience. Yeah, still
We
here,
are
still
still
crazy.
here. So you come back because you're kind of part of the team. So
Yeah,
I
that,
suppose that you're
I'm going.
you're you are.
I'm going to party in heaven next week, and then
Oh.
spiritual bath, and then I'll be in touch the week after that.
All
So
right, maybe we'll do a show together with
yeah,
Tony,
that's
and
awesome. We'll be in touch.
I
Yeah,
will shut up and probably sit way in the back, little tiny screen, and you guys can pop, pop, pop. Cool.
all right.
I'm gonna tell him. All right, guys. I'll put what is the song? It's from my one of my. I don't even know what it's called. Imagine, I think, and I get it off of uh, my sound epidemic sound. It's a subscription service where I get all my music from, and they're real artists who upload the real music, and they have because I would never pick AI music either. All right. Good night. Thank you, everyone. Thank you
Ready?
so much. Bye, guys.
Ready.
Tomorrow, Climate Crisis Club. Mwah.
All
Peace
right.
out.
See you guys.